Culture of Bulgaria. Published December the 8th, 2017. Special characters are denoted as follows. And. Left and right parentheses. A bullet point. An M dash. A number of ancient civilizations, including the Thracians, ancient Greeks, Romans, Ostrogoths, Slavs, Varangians and probably Bulgars, have left their mark on the culture, history and heritage of Bulgaria. Due to this great variety of influences, Bulgaria has one of the richest folk heritages in the world. Thracian artifacts include numerous tombs and golden treasures, while ancient Bulgars have left traces of their heritage in music and early architecture. Thracian rituals such as the Osarizan, Kirkari and Martenitas are to this day kept alive in the modern Bulgarian culture. The oldest treasure of worked gold in the world, dating back to the 5th millennium BC, comes from the site of the Varna necropolis. Bulgaria functioned as the hub of Slavic Europe during much of the Middle Ages, exerting considerable literary and cultural influence over the Eastern Orthodox Slavic world by means of the Preslav and Ovid literary schools. Bulgaria also gave the world the Cyrillic script, the second most widely used alphabet. Citation needed. In the world, which originated in these two schools in the 10th century AD. Bulgaria's contribution to humanity continued throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, with individuals such as John Adarnasov, a United States citizen of Bulgarian and British descent, regarded as the father of the digital computer, a number of noted opera singers, Nikolai Gyorov, Boris Christoph, Raina Karbavanska, Garina Dimitrova, Anatomo Asinto, Vasilina Kosarova, pianist Alexis Weinberg, and successful artists Christo Passy and Vladimir Dimitrov popularized the culture of Bulgaria abroad. Part 1. Music. Bulgaria has a long-standing musical tradition which music historians who can trace back to the early Middle Ages. One of the earliest known composers of medieval Europe, Ioan Cucuzel, ca. 1280 to 1360, became famous for his work Polylion of the Bulgarian Woman. About 90 of his works have survived. Cucuzel also reformed the Byzantine musical writing system, and became known as the Angel Voiced for his singing abilities. The tradition of church singing in Bulgaria is more than 1,000 years old. In the Bulgarian Orthodox Church there are two traditions of church singing: Eastern monodic, one voice, singing, and choral, polyphonic. The Eastern monodic singing observes the tradition of Greek and Byzantine music as well as the requirements of the 8 voices polyphonic canon of the Eastern Orthodox Church. The second tradition is the choral church music, established during the 19th century, when in Bulgaria enters the influence of Russian polyphonic choral church music. Many Bulgarian composers, Dobry Histov, Peter Dinev, etc., create their works in the spirit of Russian polyphony. Today Orthodox music is alive and is performed both during church worship services and at concerts by secular choirs and soloists. Contemporary Bulgarian worldwide recognized choirs and singers in whose repertoire permanently takes place the Orthodox music are Ioan Cucuzel Choir, Sofia Boys Choir, Madrigal Sofia Choir, Sofia Orthodox Choir, Sofia Priest Choir, etc. Worldwide famous opera singers Boris Christoph and Nikola Gyuslev. The distinctive sound of Bulgarian folk music comes partly from the asymmetric rhythms, harmony and polyphony, such as the use of close intervals like the major second and the singing of a drone accompaniment underneath the melody, especially common in songs from the Shopi region in western Bulgaria and the Pirin region. Bulgarian folk music is unique in its complex harmonies and highly irregular rhythms. These kinds of rhythms, also called uneven beats or asymmetric measures, were introduced to musicologists only in 1886 when music teacher Anastas Stoyan published Bulgarian folk melodies for the first time. Examples of such beats are 5/8, 7/8, 8/8, 9/8 and 11/8, or composite ones like 5 plus 7 /8, 15 plus 14 /8 and 9 plus 5 /16, 9 plus 5 /16. Each area of Bulgaria has a characteristic music and dance style. Bulgarian folk music inspired and was used by musicians like Kate Bush and George Harrison. Bulgarian vocal style has a unique throat quality, while the singers themselves are renowned for their range. Their voices are low and soprano, and the children love singing as well as anything artistic. Diatonic scales predominate, but in the Rhodope Mountains, for example, pentatonic scales occur, while in Thrace chromatic scales with augmented intervals, similar to the music of classical Greece. Also, the intonation varies, and is quite different from the modern Western equal temperament. Depending on whether the melody moves up or down, an interval can augment or decrease by a quarter tone. Musical instruments, also characteristic of the whole Balkan region, include gaida, bagpipe, kaval, rim-blown flute, zurna or zurla, another woodwind similar to oboe typical among Roma, tambura, long-necked lute, gadulka, bowed instrument held upright. The gaida of Bulgaria is worthy of its own subsection. In Bulgaria, the gaida has been a long symbol of the country and its heritage, and is one of the more well-known instruments of the country. The gaida most widely used is the Thracian gaida. There is in the Rhodope Mountains the deep-sounding Karba gaida. In the north, common of Dubrodha and the Vlachs, there is the Jshura gaida. Also in the Strandzha region near the border with Turkey, there is the Strandzha gaida. The bag itself is made of a goat skin turned inside out, and most often the rims of the different parts of the instrument, chanter and drone pipe, have a piece of horn on it. Dances have complex steps matching the rhythms, and are often fast. Most are circle dances or line dances called horo, but some are done singly or in pairs. Although traditional music and dance are not popular among Bulgarian city youth, they are often performed at weddings, and generally in countryside festivals. They are also performed in Bulgaria and abroad by amateur and professional performing artists and choirs. Regional folk musical styles abound in Bulgaria. Dubrodha, Sofia, Rhodope, Macedonia, Thrace and the Danube Plain all have distinctive sounds. Much of traditional folk music revolved around holidays like Christmas, New Year's Day, Midsummer, and the Feast of St. Lazarus, as well as the Strandha region's unusual Nestinastvo rites on May 21st. Several world-renowned troupes perform Bulgarian folk music, including the State Ensemble for Folk Songs and Dances, founded by Philip Kautev, 1903 to 1982. Trio Bulgarka and the Bulgarian State Television Female Vocal Choir, who are featured, among others, on the anthologies titled Le Mystère des Voix Bulgares, Volume 2 of which received a Grammy Award in 1989. One internationally known artist, Valia Balkanska, sang the song Izl Idelu Haydutin, which was chosen to be part of the Voyager Golden Record selection of music sent into space in the two Voyager spacecraft launched in 1977. The Bulgarian State Television Female Vocal Choir, also known as Mystery of Bulgarian Voices, has also attained a considerable degree of fame. Part 2. Customs and Rites. Bulgarians often give each other a martenitsa, an adornment made of white and red yarn and worn on the wrist or pinned on the clothes, from March 1st until the end of the month. Alternatively, one can take off the martenitsa earlier if one sees a stalk, considered a harbinger of spring. One can then tie the martenitsa to the blossoming branch of a tree. Family members and friends in Bulgaria customarily exchange martenitsas, which they regard as symbols of health and longevity. The white thread represents peace and tranquility, while the red one stands for the cycles of life. Bulgarians may also refer to the holiday of the 1st of March as Baba Mata, meaning Grandmother March. It preserves an ancient pagan tradition. Many legends exist regarding the birth of this custom, some of them dating back to the 7th century times of Khan Kubrat, the ruler of Old Great Bulgaria. Other tales relate the martenitsa to Thracian and Zoroastrian beliefs. Romania and some parts of Greece also have a similar custom. The ancient Bulgarian ritual of kakari, performed by costumed men, seeks to scare away evil spirits and bring good harvest and health to the community. The costumes, made of animal furs and fleeces, cover the whole of the body. A mask, adorned with horns and decoration, covers the head of each kuka, who also have bells attached to his waist. The kakari dance, jump and shout in an attempt to banish all evil from the village. Some of the performers impersonate royalty, field workers and craftsmen. The adornments on the costumes vary from one region to another. Another characteristic custom called Nestinastvo, or Fi Red and Sing, is found in the Strandha region. This ancient custom involves dancing into fire or over live embers. Women dance into the fire with their bare feet without suffering any injury or pain. Part 3. UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Bulgaria has 9 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The early medieval large rock relief Modara Rida. 2 Thracian tombs. 1 in Sveshtari and 1 in Kazanlak. 3 monuments of medieval Bulgarian culture. The Boyana Church, the Rila Monastery and the rock-hewn churches of Ivanovo. 2 examples of natural beauty, the Fisherman Memorial and the Sri Burna Nature Reserve. The ancient city of Nesaba. A unique combination of European cultural interaction, as well as, historically, one of the most important centers of seaborne trade in the Black Sea. Serva, International Kakari Festival in Pernik, Bulgaria. One of the biggest masquerade festival on the Balkans and Eastern Europe. Conducted in the last 3 days of January. Kakari or Serva Festival. Mama's Games. In the town of Pernik is the most spectacular Kakari event in Bulgaria. At the end of January, thousands of Kakari, the participants from different regions of Bulgaria, as well as from all around the world, gather in Pernik for the 3-day event. The festival held in Pernik is the oldest festival of the masquerade games in Bulgaria. The first edition was opened on January the 16th, 1966. In 1995, the International Federation of Carnival Cities accepted the town of Pernik as its full member. In 2009, Pernik was proclaimed as the European capital of Servas and Mamas. The news that the Kakari tradition and the Serva Festival in Pernik will be included in UNESCO's list of protected non-material cultural heritage was announced before the inaugural ceremony of the 20th edition of the Mumbari Fest in 2015. Local archaeologists assume that the number of archaeological sites is the 3rd largest in Europe after Italy and Greece. Part 4. Theatres. According to the Bulgarian Statistical Institute, as of 2005 there were 75 theatres in Bulgaria, including opera and ballet houses, with around 30,000 seats altogether. Part 5. Visual Art. Bulgaria has a rich heritage in the visual arts, especially in frescoes, murals and icons. The Thracian tomb of Kazanlak offers fine examples of excellently preserved ancient Thracian art. Tomb art provides one of the most important sources of information about Thracian lifestyle and culture. Visual arts in the Bulgarian lands experienced an upsurge during the entire period of the Middle Ages. Citation needed. The crypt of the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral features an exhibition of a large collection of medieval icons. The earliest of those dates from around the 9th century AD. The Tarnovo Artistic School, the mainstream of the Bulgarian fine arts and architecture between 13th and 14th centuries, takes its name from the capital and main cultural center of the Second Bulgarian Empire, Tarnovo. Although it shows the influence of some tendencies of the Paleologan Renaissance in the Byzantine Empire, the Tarnovo painting had its own unique features which makes it a separate artistic school. Art historians classify its products into two types. Mural painting, mural decoration of churches. Iconography, easel painting. The works of the school show some degree of realism, portrait individualism and psychology. The unique and realistic portraits in the boy and a church class as forerunners of the Renaissance. The wall piers and the arches often featured medallion-shaped bust images of saints. Magnificent examples of those survive in SS Peter and Paul Church in Tarnovo, along with traditional scenes such as Christ's Passions and Feast Cycle in the second layer, Christ Pantocrator in the dome and the Madonna with the infant Christ in the apse. Specific images and scenes also appear. During the period of Ottoman rule, 1396 to 1878, the authorities suppressed Bulgarian art. Many churches suffered destruction, and newly built ones remained somewhat modest. In the end of the 18th century the Islamic Ottoman Empire began to decay slowly, thus permitting the Bulgarian national revival of the 18th and 19th centuries to occur. Bulgaria experienced a revival in every area of culture. Citation needed. Following the liberation in 1878, fine arts rapidly recovered and came under the influence of European artistic currents such as late Romanticism. Part 6. Cuisine. The relatively warm climate and diverse geography afford excellent growing conditions for a variety of vegetables, herbs and fruits. Bulgarian cuisine. Bulgarian, Bulgarska kunya, offers great diversity. Famous for its rich salads required at every meal, Bulgarian cuisine also features diverse quality dairy products and a variety of wines and local alcoholic drinks such as rakia, mastika and menta. Bulgarian cuisine also features a variety of hot and cold soups, for example tarata. Many different Bulgarian pastries exist as well, such as banitsa, a traditional pastry prepared by layering a mixture of whisked eggs and pieces of Bulgarian cheese with phyllo pastry and then baking that in an oven. Traditionally, Bulgarian cooks put lucky charms into their pastry on certain occasions, particularly on Christmas Eve, the first day of Christmas, or New Year's Eve. Such charms may include coins or small symbolic objects, such as a small piece of a dogwood branch with a bud, symbolizing health or longevity. As of which date, people have started writing happy wishes on small pieces of paper and wrapping them in tin foil. Messages may include wishes for happiness, health, long life or success throughout the new year. Bulgarians eat banitsa, hot or cold, for breakfast with plain yogurt, ayran, or bosa. Some varieties include banitsa with spinach, /spinakina banitsa, or the sweet version, banitsa with milk, /mlekna banitsa, or pumpkin, /tikvanik. The Bulgarian liutenica is a spicy mixture of mashed and cooked tomatoes, aubergines, garlic, hot peppers and vegetable oil, seasoned with salt, pepper and parsley. Variations of liutenica exist in the national cuisines of most Balkan states. Tripe soup /skemkorba takes as its basis the thick lining of the cleaned stomach of cattle, prepared with milk and seasoned with vinegar, garlic and hot peppers. Under Ottoman rule, the Sultan's allegedly preferred tripe soup made by Bulgarian cooks, whose mastery in preparing the dish remained unmatched in the Balkans. Citation needed. Exports of Bulgarian wine go worldwide, and until 1990 the country exported the world's second largest total of bottled wine. The rich soil, perfect climate and the millennia-old tradition of winemaking, which dates back to the time of the Thracians, contribute to the wide variety of fine Bulgarian wines. As of 2007, Bulgaria produced 200,000 tons of wine annually, ranking 20th in the world. Part 7. Media. Bulgaria's media are generally deemed unbiased, although the state still dominates the field through the Bulgarian National Television. BNT. The Bulgarian National Radio. BNR. And the Bulgarian Telegraph Agency. Bulgarian media have a record of unbiased reporting, although they are deemed potentially at risk of political influence due to the lack of legislation to protect them. The written media have no legal restrictions and newspaper publishing is entirely liberal. The extensive freedom of the press means that no exact number of publications can be established, although some research put an estimate of around 900 print media outlets for 2006. The largest circulation daily newspapers include Dnevntrud and 24-часа. Non-printed media sources, such as television and radio, are overseen by the Council for Electronic Media. CEM. An independent body with the authority to issue broadcasting licenses. Apart from a state-operated national television channel, radio station and the Bulgarian News Agency, a large number of private television and radio stations exist. However, most Bulgarian media experience a number of negative trends, such as general degradation of media products, self-censorship and economic or political pressure. Slavish Show and Gospodarina Efira are among the most popular TV programs, both having more than 1 million views per show. Internet media are growing in popularity due to the wide range of available opinions and viewpoints, lack of censorship and diverse content. Part 8. Religion. Bulgaria is officially a secular nation and the constitution guarantees the free exercise of religion but designates orthodoxy as a traditional religion. In the 2001 census, 82.6% Bulgarians declared themselves Orthodox Christians, 12.2% Muslim, 1.2% other Christian denominations, 4% other religions. Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism, Judaism, and 0% atheists. Most citizens of Bulgaria have associations, at least nominally, with the Bulgarian Orthodox Church, founded in 870 AD under the Patriarchate of Constantinople, from which it obtained its first primate, its clergy and theological texts. The Bulgarian Orthodox Church had autocephalous status since 927 AD. The Church became subordinate within the Patriarchate of Constantinople, twice during the periods of Byzantine 1018 to 1185, and Ottoman 1396 to 1878 domination. It was re-established first in 1870 in the form of the Bulgarian Exarchate, and then in the 1950s as the Bulgarian Patriarchate. Islam came to Bulgaria at the end of the 14th century after the conquest of the country by the Ottomans. It gradually gained ground throughout the 15th and 16th centuries through the introduction of Turkish colonists. One Islamic sect, Ahmadiyya, faces problems in Bulgaria. Some officials have moved against Ahmadis, on the grounds that other countries also attack the religious rights of Ahmadis, who many Muslims regard as heretical. As a result of the country's history, the Bulgarian education system and culture teach negativity toward the Turkish culture and nurtures racism toward the Roma. In Bulgaria, if you are Muslim or dark-skinned, you will face racism on a daily basis from the majority of the people. Integration for the non-whites is painstakingly difficult because the general population a grudge toward the Turkish people and are fed from childhood that the European race is more superior. In the 16th and the 17th centuries, missionaries from Rome converted Bulgarian Paulicians in the districts of Plovdiv and Svishta to Roman Catholicism, as of which date their descendants form the bulk of Bulgarian Catholics, whose number stood at 44,000 in 2001. Missionaries from the United States introduced Protestantism into Bulgarian territory in 1857. Missionary work continued throughout the second half of the 19th and the first half of the 20th century. In 2001, Bulgaria had some 42,000 Protestants. Buddhism, Hinduism and Taoism became popular among Bulgarians in the time of Perestroika and especially after the fall of communist regime, and are usually a co-religion or co-belief to Bulgarians who otherwise are Christians. Roman Catholicism or Orthodoxy. Among these Eastern Asian religions, Buddhist centers are officially registered in Bulgaria as religious denominations. The number of followers of Buddhism has increased gradually in recent years, also due to the influx of Vietnamese citizens, predominantly Buddhist, to Bulgaria. According to the most recent Eurostat Eurobarometer poll, in 2005, 40% of Bulgarian citizens responded that they believe there is a God, whereas 40% answered that they believe there is some sort of spirit or life force. 13% that they do not believe there is a God, spirit, or life force, and 6% did not answer. This recording is a derivative work from Wikipedia. For more information, please visit www.frogcast.org.